I was gonna. Oh, we're live. Hi, everybody.
Hey everyone, welcome. Better late than never. Sometimes we don't always run on time, but oh well, we're here now. But no, Leo, what was that you were sharing, or something you didn't want to say online on air?
Well, I was no, it wasn't anything related to the show. I'll save it for later.
Oh, oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I was actually looking through some of my old notes and stuff. Because I keep all different research documents and stuff, things I write down, stuff I had typed up and saved for later on to look back into, and a few things. I was gonna share something, but I'm gonna wait till Fred jumps on though. You know, I, I'm gonna show something on the screen, but I'm gonna let him discuss it and see what he has to say about it. It's actually a book, and on the book I have, he's gonna know who the person is. We both dealt with this person. When I first met the guy, I mean, he seemed like a pretty cool guy. Oh, even Tracy Arnold could tell you about this one individual. Everyone's gonna, for those who've dealt with him, knows this person very well. So, maybe you even heard of him, Leo, but I'm not gonna mention his name until Fred gets on. So, um,
Okay.
but I'll tell you what, I know I've showed these two books before and I promoted them before. I've actually been looking through these two books. These are the ones from the crypto crew, the Carolina
Oh
crypto
yeah.
crew. The ones they sent me.
Yeah.
Sasquatch the Native Truth, and Bigfoot Chronicles. Uh, man, these are awesome books. Like I said, I've been trying to look through one at a time, but I can't help but going back and forth sometimes. Awesome books, and I talked to Melissa George, and we actually do have something scheduled to get her and Carrie on. Uh, Hold on, I have it. Let me look. I have it written down because I actually have scheduled it.
While while you're looking, um, I just wanted to say a brief thing. Uh,
Yes, yes.
I actually tried to speak with Steven Strufer today, but I didn't have any luck because I'm not on Facebook until this weekend. Uh, but I'll go ahead right here and be the bigger man, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize to him for any issues um, that there are
Okay.
between us. But I would also say that I would like to see if it's for personal or for everyone to see some type of documentation. I think that's fair, and I do apologize. If he can provide that, that would be great. I would greatly appreciate that. But I do want to say I'll be
All
the
right.
bigger man and apologize.
All right. Well, and for the
But
record,
there.
if Steven's watching this or gets to watch this, see, I do pass the message along. I make sure you guys both know about what's going on. So you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
uh,
Very nice gesture.
yep. And that was simple. Straight to the point.
There you go.
And I wanted to tell everybody on another note, since we're making announcements and everything. First of all, welcome aboard, Nikki.
Hey,
Nikki, hi.
hello.
Uh,
Everywhere.
Hi.
yeah. All right. One thing I want to do share. Oh, before I make my little announcement, uh, I'll go through the announcements. I usually make them at the end, but Thursday the 19th, 9 p.m. Night Calls Radio. Friday the 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when we will have the Carolina Crypto Crew this Friday, the 20th. So Carolina Crypto Crew will be on Friday, and then Monday, May 3rd, we will have Brian Sullivan. Some people know him as the Duke. So Brian Sullivan will be on May 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, and many know that we were scheduled to have Kenneth Jolowski on tonight. He actually messaged me earlier in the day while I was at work, and he stated that he will not be able to do tonight for the very fact that he is just returning today from the Ohio Bigfoot Conference. He was still, when he messaged me, he was still at the conference. He was supposed to be, he is leaving today. And so we rescheduled him. I asked him what would be the best day, and I think I wrote down, yeah, May 25th. May 25th at 7 p.m. We will have Kenneth back on. We have him rescheduled for the 25th, so definitely take note of that. Let's see. And I had a little brief chat under a post in one of my groups. It's a private secret group, and I had a chat with Tracy Arnold. He posted a video in there. It was he made it was a public video, but since it was in a secret group, I'm not going to mention the group because it's my secret private group that only certain individuals were in there or invited in. But yeah, after listening to the video with what Tracy had to say, I responded to Tracy, and basically in the video he apologized for a few things, and I apologized back. Me and Tracy had a few other words and things, let's just say everything's behind us. We're forgetting everything that was said. And on a positive note, things are cool, and we understand that what we do, or what we might do with this person, we don't have to agree with everybody on that part, and we're doing our own thing. But like I said, on a plus side, everything is cool between me and Tracy. We made that, I guess you could say we fixed that. So just wanted to share that little bit of information. I'm sure maybe we'll still compare and share a few details and notes on things after later on. But Tracy's working on doing his own thing right now, but with that out of the picture, I just wanted to let everyone know that bit of good news. And actually, I feel good about it. I feel better about it. So it was good to hear, and I'm glad he was actually responding back to me and everything. So it was a good feeling knowing that we actually chatted and got that out of the way. Hold on. Okay, I thought I was freezing up. Nikki, I was wondering. I'm going to chat with you. I'll start with you. I wanted to ask you, as far as I know, you see a lot that goes on in the Bigfoot community. And, as far as, is there any special things or anything you want to throw in as far as announcements you'd like to share, or anything you want to share?
As far as announcements, well, everybody was just talking about the Ohio conference, and so I haven't seen too much lately. There's another photo going around, but it's a Photoshop face. It looks like a Bigfoot, like down on his knees.
Oh.
But the face is clearly photoshopped. But I'm still wondering about where the original photo came from, and I was gonna try to track that down, but I didn't know you were gonna have a show tonight.
Oh no, yeah. If you could find that, send it to my messenger. That's something we could talk.
There was somebody who definitely knew about it, so I wanted to talk to her before, because I think it's old, but I had never seen it, so that's kind of rare. I hadn't seen it before.
Huh.
I think it was on. Let me tell you. Okay, North American Bigfoot. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
Not that one. See, and now of course I won't be able to find it. Let's see. I don't know. I'll find it. It'll come up somewhere again, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, definitely share that. We can definitely discuss that. That's interesting. I mean, is it somebody trying to say it's a real thing, but it's apparently it's pretty obvious that it's.
No, the original poster said something about, can somebody tell me about this photo? Not saying it's a Bigfoot, but never seen it before. And I was like, wow, I've never seen that one before either. But that was just today, so who knows?
Okay.
when it originally came out.
Right. Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
because when you get photos like that, there are some people that especially if it's obvious that it is Photoshop, you do have people that will actually fall for those kind of things, which is kind of
right.
sad though.
And let's see. No, I looked in that one.
Hmm.
South Texas. I don't know. I've got so many different groups. I don't remember which one I was on at the time I was looking at it. Uh,
Huh.
that's a problem because you also start seeing people posting the same thing in all the different ones that all the groups they're in.
Oh
So
yeah.
so I skip around a lot, and I don't know where this one came from.
I do the same thing. Um, There'll be a new video or a new picture, but I'm doing something else, and I'll think, okay, I'll remember the name of this group to go back later, and then later I'm like, what? Which group was it? And I forget too, because I'm a member of a number of groups, just mostly for the new pics and videos and things.
Right, because there hasn't been a whole lot of new stuff out there. A lot of
Not recently,
yeah,
no.
people who have stuff they think is real, they're starting to get smart and keep it. I think they're
Yeah,
not sharing anymore, which, is probably a good thing because they don't want the ridicule.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, I was watching earlier, and I think there's about 10 more minutes of it. I think Kelly Shaw posted it, but
Oh
it
yeah.
it was the thing with the dude who shot the Bigfoot and then shot the little one,
Justin
and
Smeha. Yeah. Yeah. That's.
it was I've seen him before in the stories and this and that, and I don't know how new this was, but it was a different interview with him and the other guy, and it was interesting. I watched till about the last 10 minutes. I'll try and watch the rest later, but
Yeah.
who's to say?
Yeah.
But it
I didn't
was
even.
interesting.
Yeah, I saw that blog being shared, posted everywhere, and it's just I didn't even bother opening it because anything with Justice Mayhaw. I mean, he's been through 100 interviews. We've actually had him on uh, a long time ago. It seems like forever, but yeah, we had him on, and other people had him on. Other shows, radio shows, blog talk shows, etc., etc. But yeah, I mean, everywhere I've heard, he's actually been very, what's the right word, consistent. With his story. Uh,
Yes, this
you know,
had a lie detector
right. Yeah,
polygraph.
that's not new. Yeah, he did clearly
Yeah.
pass to that. He shared that information with us, but I think Fred did actually question him on regards to that because we had a lot of questions thrown at him, and yeah,
Well, I can't say whether it's the truth or not, but there
right,
was information and interview in there that I had not seen or heard, and I wanted um, to watch and listen and understand, um, for myself, if and then I can take it or leave it or whatever,
right.
but it was interesting. So
Hmm.
that's what I was watching up until, and it got too late. I couldn't finish about the last 10, 15 minutes, so I'll do that later. But it was interesting. Whether, like I say, I'm not calling anybody. I don't like to call anybody a liar. You weren't there. You don't know.
Right.
But it was interesting, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I will make this statement here. Um, Hold on, I'm replying to Fred real quick. He'll be on as soon as possible. Something about it. Yeah.
Do you have
Oh,
to
he
eat
said,
food?
no, I think he's talking to his mother on the phone.
Oh, okay. Well, you always got to talk to Mama.
Oh, yeah. Um, what was I going to say? Oh, some of the other things that he's actually been throwing around, which, everyone's entitled to share their blog, share their whatever. But, it's like apparently I don't know, he's trying to share something. In my ECBR groups, if you try to share something, I got to approve it. Me or one of my administrators. One of the things I did not and I could not share or approve was a post in regards to Steven Strufer. I mean, to me, that's just inviting, trouble for me allowing something like that go in there. I mean, it had I don't know. I try to look at it, stuff I've heard about before, and I didn't see no sense of doing that. So I don't know what other groups he's tried to do that with, but so hey, we got Walter Schramm.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, how you doing, Walter? I didn't expect to see
Okay,
you on tonight.
I'm on my cell phone, so I'm at a ball field with my grandson. So I don't know if you probably can't see me, right? I'm just you can hear me. You can't see me, right?
No, I see your fingers.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, there you go. Got you now.
Hi, Walter.
Hey, Walter, we're doing great. I just want to let you know, every time I ride out to my Bigfoot research area, I jam out to your CD that I have.
Hey, thank you very much. Well, you're a star. You were like the first upcoming. Well, I wanted you on there because you were like the first upcoming star. I could sense. I really believe, like I was watching all these people in the Bigfoot community, and I don't know. I just felt like you were. I think eventually, most of the people on the CD were on TV. A lot of them weren't, but some of them just seen Bigfoots too. So I kind of put like you seen a Bigfoot, then to me you're a hero. If you're on TV, you're on the CD. But I felt like you're an upcoming star because I felt like your organization, you guys. I don't know. I just kind of felt like. I think you're going to be on TV one day. I have a feeling you're going to get a little bit of TV spot time. I don't know why I feel that way.
Well,
maybe
if it ever happens, so be it. But I'm not expecting it. But you never know. I mean, what I do is serious and real. So, but maybe the right people, maybe might acknowledge that one day. But
That's what I'm saying. I kind of felt that with your company, with you and that. What's that guy? Ken. Two guys. Your two guys.
Ken.
What's her name?
Oh, with
Fred
me.
Canny.
Oh, you talking about Fred Canny? Yeah.
Fred, I felt. You have something going there.
Yeah, Fred will be on in a little while. He's actually occupied right now, but he'll jump on in a little while.
But I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you giving me advertisement. When I'm out playing, I mention your name. Sometimes you're in one of my songs. Your name's in one of my songs. I put it in.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But I mentioned playing out. Like I played out the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Society, okay? I played the song. I don't know if you know. You were in the song. Played it. There was probably 300 people there. You got a little advertisement. So I give you guys advertisement. You know what I mean? I give you guys Bigfoot hunters. If I get a chance to play out, and I thank you for putting your name on the CD. So in return, I try to give you guys advertisement if I'm playing out. You know what I mean? Help each other. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I tell you what, Ed, if you get excuse me, yeah, Walter, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about somebody else that will be on in the last while. If you get a chance or opportunity, if you can send me a link with website or place where people could go to actually buy your CDs, that'd be great. Just send me something to my.
I can't go to your home page. That's the problem. Remember, I try to post stuff. You kind of have it, so you can't really post. You know what I mean? Like I can't post anything on your page, so I'd have to post it on.
Yeah, if you could send it to me through Messenger or something, that'd be great. Because I could actually anytime I go live on a live podcast like this, I could actually share it to everybody, all the viewers.
Oh, thank you. I will do that tonight, or so. I will send you some of my. I'm selling the CDs for $12.99, I'll put that link to it. It's like on PayPal. You know, I'm on PayPal with it.
Okay. And Walter, here's Fred Canny. He's just now jumping on. Yeah. Well, hold on. Is he up?
Well,
hey,
I don't want to
Fred.
mess your show up. I'm standing by.
Oh no, you're fine. Well, you're fine, Walter. It's actually a surprise to see you on. I'm kind of glad you jumped on. By any chance, is Mr. Ed Brown with you by any chance?
Who's Ed Brown? Who is it?
Yeah.
Who is Ed? Everybody tell me about this Ed Brown guy. I hear him on Facebook. I see him on YouTube. I see him on TV, but I don't even know who the guy is. The guy keeps coming to me and saying, Walt, I want my autograph on your CD. I don't even know who the guy is. I don't know.
Well, I know. I mean, I was trying to figure out the Ed that everyone's talking about. I made a video about who is Ed Brown. Yeah, it's on my I posted. It's on my timeline. It's on my YouTube channel. Everyone's trying to figure out who's Ed Brown.
He bothers me all the time. He Facebooks me, private messages me. I don't know if he's going to come to my house. I don't know what he's doing, man, but it's crazy. It's like, I just want to know who Ed Brown is. He's driving me crazy. Is he going to be on this? He's not here, is he?
Nah, he's not. I don't know. I don't know. I know Rick Dyer's been asked. Rick Dyer, I've never heard of the guy.
Rick Dyer never heard of him either.
Nope.
Dan, he's drove me nuts, man. He private messages me all the time. Can I have my autograph on your CD? I'm like, I don't even know who you are.
Oh.
It's crazy.
Well, if you see this person, would you recognize him?
No, I never seen. I don't know. I never seen him before. I don't even know who he is. It's crazy. He shows up on my doorstep one day. I go, what? Who are you? You know, it's crazy what's been going on. It's been going on for about 6 months now. It's like, who's Ed Brown? Who's it? 6 months of this Ed Brown guy. He's driving me crazy.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm probably going to get so tired of it, Dan. I'm just going to have to, I might have to go find him. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, if he's not as big, he's a Bigfoot hunter. What is he, guy? Because I put Bigfoot hunters on there.
Well, I don't know. Ryan, do you know who Ed Brown is?
Nope.
What about you, Fred? Do you know Ed Brown?
Nope.
Nope. Oh. Anyone else on the panel ever heard of Ed Brown?
The interviewer?
Interviewer?
Nope.
Yeah, doesn't he? Ed Brown? I thought his name was Ed Brown. The guy you used to do with Dan Lindholm, who used to do interviews.
I don't know.
Let me check the live chat here. Maybe the live chat might know something here. I think the live chat's listening. Might have a few words to say. Let's see. Okay. Well. Oh.
What's up,
Now,
guys? Hey, is this the Bob and Tom show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's not. Did I dial the wrong number?
No.
Who is it? Hey, it's Daniel Benwood.
No, this is Fred Caney of Valley Bigfoot. Daniel Ben Wallace just my sidekick.
like Batman and Robin?
Yeah, I'm Batman. I'm Batman. He's Catwoman.
Kind of like Rick Dyer and Richter.
Yeah, I got no comment. Hey, actually, you know, it's funny you guys are saying that because I'm actually in the middle of doing something kind of cool right now. I'm going to. I got a couple stops to go. I'm in Carolinas right now. I'm in South Carolina right now, and I am on my way. I'm on my way to where's West Virginia, and I got to pick up something there. I got to go to Chicago, but then I'm going to pick up. Now you ready for this? A carved Bigfoot, and I'm taking it to Mr. Lauren Coleman at his museum up in Portland, Maine. So that's going to be pretty cool. And I'll actually have that in the van with me here in a couple days.
Well, I got to ask you, your last name is Brown, right? Did he just freeze up on me?
He's on the highway, man. He's hitting hot spots.
I think so.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Well, where's the other guy at?
Oh, I know what's going on. The link was shared to the other guy. It's part of a joke. It's going on Facebook right now. It's been doing. Rick Dyer started it, or one of them.
There he is.
Oh, okay. You were froze up there for a little bit there, Mr. Brown. It is Mr. Brown, right?
Well, yeah, Mr. Brown. Is Walter Schrum on here, by the way?
Oh, he was.
He was.
He was trying to figure out who Ed Brown is.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back, and we're gonna fix that tonight. All right. But I wanted to show you guys. Is my video working? Can you see me?
Yeah. I see you great.
Okay. All right. Good. 'Cause I want to show you something. So I stopped by and had lunch with Rick Dyer on the way up here, and I told him I was going to see Lauren Coleman.
Oh, poor
guy. And he says, "Well, here." Yeah. He says, "Well, I got something that you can donate for me to the museum." And do you remember in his last hoax when he wanted to bring on the baby Bigfoot?
You got the doll?
I got the baby Bigfoot. Are you ready?
The baby Bigfoot?
Yeah, can
Hold
you
on,
see
wait
it?
a minute.
Yeah, I see it.
Let me see. Let me turn the light on. Maybe I don't. No, it's not dark enough.
Yeah, it looks like Rick.
Hey, Walter Schrum is back.
I got cut off.
Daniel, I heard that you were, calling around and trying to get me to come on the show at some point, and I thought did I lose you again?
Nah, I hear you.
Okay. And so I thought I would come on real quick and make a deal with you.
Oh, make a deal with me?
Yes, because you're one of the stars that signed his CD, and I notice I did this when I did stars, but because I've seen the list, but if you get me on that CD, you talk to Walter and get me on that CD, I'll come on the show.
Well,
and I won't give you and I won't call you the Bob and Tom show either. All right?
Well, Mr. Walter Schrum is actually listening right now.
Walter Schrum is here?
Yes, he's here.
Walter.
Is this Ed?
This is Ed Brown, man. You seem to not know
who are you? Who are you already?
It's Ed. What a great forum for this conversation, huh? You know what? Bob and Tom's going to be with you guys next week, so you guys got to fill in for us.
So, Walter, what do you want to know about Mr. Ed Brown?
I don't know who he is.
You want to know who he is?
Yeah, who is
I'm 40,
Who are you,
I'm 48.
Ed Brown?
I'm single. I'm 48. I'm single, and I like long walks on the beach.
That sounds like a match profile.
So is he? So he wants to get on my CD. What does he do?
Okay, let's fix that real quick.
Driver.
It's not that I want to be. I just want you to want me to be on CD. So if you just said, "Hey, Ed Green or whatever, whoever you are, hey, would you want to sign this? And it's me. It's Ed Brown. I've called people. I've talked to people. Now I got everybody saying, Ed who? Who's Ed? And it's your fault. You're kind of ruining my reputation, Walter.
Who is Ed Brown?
You should get T-shirts made, Ed. Who is Ed Brown?
I know, right? Somebody else said that the other day. Who was that?
I don't know. Michael Cook? I don't know. Michael Cook's watching right now.
Is he watching?
I believe so.
Hey, Michael, if you're watching, you got to quit copying everybody else's videos. Now, that one with the girlfriend has already been done. Just saying. Do you know who Ed Brown is? Uh-huh. So, we got to, you got to be creative. If you guys want to make fun of me, at least be creative, right?
We can get creative.
Oh yeah.
And you know that Daniel has a problem saying Ed Brown since I've been on here. Right.
What's that now?
I said Daniel hasn't had a problem saying Ed Brown since I've been on here. So he knows.
Who's Ed Brown?
I know. I don't have no problem saying the name Ed Brown if we can figure out who he is.
You know what the problem
I'm saving a spot. I'll have to save a spot on that CD for Who's Ed Brown. I just don't know who he is yet.
That's a good song. Who's Ed Brown?
Walter, Walter, there's a new song title for you.
There
I
you
might
go.
have to write a new song called Who's Ed Brown.
I like that idea, but I travel so much that it should be Where's Ed Brown, not Who's Ed Brown. Come on.
What is Ed Brown?
Why? What do you do?
Okay, this is what us guys in the Bigfoot world want to know who is Ed Brown. Ed Brown is the man who's all around the land. Ed Brown.
Brown, that's right. But all the land. I like truck.
Every time I turn around, I say, "Where's Ed Brown at? He's over in California. Where's Ed Brown at? He's in Florida. Where's Ed Brown at? He's all over the place."
Well, hey, wait a minute. Now you want to know where I am. A little while ago, you didn't know who I was.
Wow, that is interesting, ain't it?
Actually, I wasn't sure exactly if I made it to South Carolina yet or not, but I figured it out because I stopped at a truck stop, and I went in, and I was like the only car in the lot, by the way, no trucks or anything. And like you go in, and you get a cup of coffee, and they still got the last pots and all that, and they're kind of dingy, and all that. And it's like, yeah, I'm in South Carolina.
Listen, Ed, I was at the ball field down here where I live at the concession stand, and you're not going to believe this. I went in there in the concession stand. Some stranger looked at me and said, "Who's Ed Brown?" This is over here in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, at the concession stand at the ball field. Some guy goes up to me, some stranger goes, "Who's Ed Brown?" I said, "I don't know who Ed Brown is." It follows me everywhere, Ed. Even in a little town like I live in, a little town of Uniontown, it follows me here. Who is Ed Brown?
Walter, you can fix it, man. You can fix it. You're the only one that can fix it.
It's driving me crazy, Ed.
Hey, Walter, when you talk,
Yeah.
can you quit showing your chin and your neck?
What's that?
When you're talking, quit showing your neck and your chin. You're not talking on the phone. Hold the phone down. So we can see your face. Hey, Daniel, are you ready to kick us out of here yet?
Nah, you guys are just fine.
You see me right there, Ed?
No, no. Where's Walter Schrum?
Oh, next he's gonna be asking who is Walter Schrum.
No.
I can come up with a good song with that one and send it to Walter.
Hey, Freddie.
Yeah.
Why don't you go? I want you to do. I want you to do Walter a favor. I want you to do Walter a favor, not necessarily me. I want you to write a Who's That Brown song and send it to Walter so he can play it. Fair enough?
All right, I'll do that. Give me about a week and I'll do it.
Who's Ed Brown?
Yep.
Okay.
Who's Ed Brown?
Who's That Brown?
Hold on one
Let me
second.
guess.
You guys might want to sit tight for a few more minutes, hang around, stay on live, because we might be able to get more. We might be able to get a little help figuring all this out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, we need some help figuring this out.
Yes,
For the record, I already know who Ed Brown is.
Ed, wherever I go, the gas stations, who's Ed Brown? The concession stand, who's Ed Brown? Everywhere I go in town, who is Ed Brown?
All up in that little small town up in Pennsylvania, huh?
A little small town in Pennsylvania, who is Ed Brown?
Well, we might have some help here now, everybody. Welcome, Mr. Dyer.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, Rick Dyer.
You know who it is?
Rick.
You know, I recognize a lot of people here, but one.
Mr. Rick, I wish I knew who Ed Brown is. It's driving me crazy, Rick.
I know, man. I still can't figure it out. But whoever he is, he's a stalker. He came by my place.
Rick, how can you say you don't know who I am? You bought me lunch today.
Well, I do give to charity.
Do you remember? Do you remember having lunch at Wendy's today?
Yeah,
Well, that's Ed Brown.
Oh, well, I thought he was homeless.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
You guys are crazy.
You know, God almighty, I love y'all people, man. Y'all are my new family now. Walt, ha.
Rick, I was just telling him, a little town like I live in, okay, I went to the concession stand, they go, who's Ed Brown? Then I went to the gas station, who's Ed Brown? I was driving me crazy today. Then I turn on the thing, and then I turn on the Facebook page, and I see this guy. You're like, who's Ed Brown? He's in your house. He's in your car dealership. You're like, who is this guy? He's everywhere, but I don't even know who he is. Who is Ed Brown?
I don't know. He's some guy that drives a white van.
Well, apparently, you know, I hear rumors this guy gets around.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know, but he just lost signal. He's probably driving through a bad spot. Well, Ed Brown actually, someone by the name of Ed Brown, or someone that resembled the description of this Ed Brown, he jumped on a show that we had with Miss Claudia Ackley a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I'm trying to figure out why he wants this CD so bad and why he wants to be with Walter so bad.
Yeah, he wants to have his name put on Walter's CD, like me and Fred's name's on there. Me, Fred, Rick Dyer, our names are on the CD.
Walter From's awesome.
Hey, I'll bet you guys money that in the last few minutes when I got disconnected, somebody said, "Where's Ed Brown?"
Who?
Yeah. That was all right. Who said that?
Reading, Ryan?
Right. All right. Okay. Hey, man, timing is everything.
You like that?
That was good timing. It was definitely good timing.
Well,
I'm gonna have to get a shirt printed up. Who's Ed Brown?
Yeah.
We have to start getting shirts, man. Who's Ed Brown?
We have
That's
to.
funny. I'm gonna get one made that says I'm Ed Brown.
Who?
That's what it's gonna say on the back. Ooh.
So what does Ed Brown do?
That's a good question.
See, I just nothing. actually, guys, what? Actually, I do have a little outing plan. That's going to be a lot of fun. Actually, in the beginning of June, the first, second weekend of June, there's going to be 4 of us, maybe 5, going up to the mountains up in California. It'll be a lot of fun. In fact, Kirk Brown, Dan Lindholm, myself, and Adam Davies, we're going to go watching, enjoy the outdoors. So I'm going to get out and do some serious research with some serious researchers. I mean, these guys know their stuff, man. These guys are good. These guys are really, really good. So I'm excited about that.
Well, sometime later this year, we will have Adam Davies on here as well. I know he's got a lot going on right now. So.
And where's this outing? Where's this outing take place?
Hey guys, I'm going to be getting off here. I'm at the ball field here. I just want to tell you guys, I am privileged. Thank you guys for accepting me into the Bigfoot community, Dan, and audience people, Rick, and everybody here. I mean, I'm not a Bigfoot hunter. I just like to write songs about you guys. You're my heroes, really. I love to watch what you guys do. I appreciate all you guys. I'm going to get off, but I just want to tell you, you're all my heroes. Believe me.
Well,
It means a lot. You signed my CDs.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure that we got to do that for you, and maybe eventually you could maybe write a song about a new hero. If we could ever, there's a new hero among us somewhere. If we could ever find out who this Ed Brown guy is.
Ed Brown. Who's Ed Brown?
But seriously, I just want to tell you thank you, all you guys, because I just play guitar and write, and you guys accept me like one of you. I feel like a family with you guys, you know?
You're the man.
Some good people here.
Yeah, I haven't accepted you yet, Walter.
Well, I don't know who Ed Brown is, but everybody but Ed. I feel like a family, everybody but Ed. I still don't know who he is yet. But
Ed Brown who?
But I just want to tell you guys, I'm at the ball field here with my grandsons. I'm going to get off and let you go. But I'll be in touch with all you guys. I appreciate all you guys. Man.
All right.
Good luck, brother.
Thank you, Walter.
All right,
God bless, Walter.
I got 2 paragraphs already.
I love you. Whoever you are, we'll meet again.
I got 2 paragraphs for you already. I'll be finishing about a week.
All right, Freddie. Let's hear the 2 paragraphs.
Okay. I'll let Daniel know.
Oh, yeah.
Ed.
What?
Who in the hell is Ed Brown? God, get off here.
He's everywhere.
There's a guy who rides around the country in a white van. Yo!
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Freddie's got a start of a song. I want to hear this. Everyone,
Yeah.
let's hear it.
All right, it's just a rough part. It said, there's a guy who rides around the country in a white van called Ed Brown. Who's Ed Brown? He sneaks around in a white van looking for a thing called Bigfoot. Ed Brown.
Ed Brown.
Yeah. I still got to reword it, you know. I got about 4 more paragraphs, and that'll be the song.
Big bad Ed Brown.
Who?
I've always wanted a song.
Walter, you're back.
Hey, I think Walter heard the song.
Well, what'd you say?
Hi, Walter.
He just jumped back on.
Really? Oh, you like it? You like it, Walter?
I don't think he knows he's on.
Hey, Walter!
Hey Ed,
Yeah.
are you going to get arrested for doing this while you're driving?
They're gonna give him a ticket, and he's gonna say, "I'm Ed Brown," and they're gonna say, "Who?"
Don't worry.
You can't arrest me. I'm
No,
Ed Brown.
Don't worry. I'm Ed Brown. I'm Ed Brown. You know, I host a fabulous.
You tell an officer. Yeah, you tell a police officer that you're Ed Brown. They're gonna ask who is Ed Brown.
You know what he'll say?
Ed Brown.
He'll say, "I got a cell downtown."
I'm gonna add Ed Brown over here beside my angel, right here on my tattoo. Yeah.
Hey, Michael, there's one place I don't want to be, and that's on your body.
You were already on my body, lover.
Oh my God. Okay, guys, gotta go.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, that's real dangerous. Oh man, and all this because I thought I was going.
Now that was funny. I don't care who you are.
Oh.
I think Rick's still with us. I think he's been fishing.
Hey, Rick, did you catch anything besides rain?
Well, we killed 5 each, but they were too small. Like I'm talking about less than a pound.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should get used to that. So what's going on? So what is this? Is this about the show, or is this just a pre-show, or what's happening on this?
You're on live air right now. This is recording.
You are the show, Ed.
I am the. Well, yeah. See. Why is it someone can say, "Yeah, you are the show, Ed," or "Hey, Ed," or "Ed's here," but no one says. But 2 seconds later, everybody's like, "Who's Ed? Who's Ed? Who's Ed?"
We feel sorry for you.
Rick.
Got to give the homeless man some kind of name.
Yeah, I needed some help. And oh man.
Do you have? What did Rick say?
Oh, I didn't say nothing.
Oh. Does this Ed Brown, does he have a middle name?
Well, technically, Ed is my middle name. Edward, yeah. That is my middle name. Yeah, I'm going to make you ask.
What's the first name?
Well, say something, Daniel.
So, Daniel.
Yeah. Mysterious driver, yeah.
I asked Ed what was his first name.
Ed who?
Ed Brown.
I think he froze up again.
I will mention that the Creature Weekend is coming up. I think that's June 3rd. That's in Cambridge, Ohio, Jurassic Park. And I spoke with Paul Costco, well, briefly, and I don't know if he shared the event, so I like to share a bunch of things all the time.
June 3rd is a special day. My daughter will be 15. I'm sorry. My daughter turns 15 on June 3rd. So, yeah, she's getting up there. So.
Yeah. Gone before you know it. Enjoy every minute.
Oh yeah.
Anybody got any important information that they want to share?
Oh, I got something for Fred.
What?
Let me turn my camera back on. I'm gonna show Fred a picture, and I'll let Fred talk about his opinion on this person here. All right, are you ready, Fred?
Yeah.
Who is this, Fred?
A worthless piece of shit.
Oh, who is that picture of?
His name is He calls himself Grandpa Larry Davis. He claims to be a professional Bigfoot hunter. He's done stepped on 2 people's toes already. And he's about useless as tits on a boar hog.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
I just did.
You know, this book right here is the one he wrote and put together himself. He said, all this is his observations, research, and conclusions of the Sasquatch from 1978 to 2014. All this information that he has in here, I didn't even look through the whole thing, but a majority of what I've read in here, a majority of all this information in here is information and research that I've put together in a small, shorter time than all this stuff here. A lot of it's just stories and stuff he's collected, basically. Well, a lot of this is what a lot of the... Yeah.
Sorry, hey, Rick, do those years mean anything to you?
What years?
1978 to 2014.
Oh, 1970. I thought you said 1908 or 2008. I guess I forget it. Forget it.
Oh, 2008? You talking about Rick Dyer in 2008? We know that date.
Yeah, we know those. We know that year.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry.
He said you're welcome.
I guess my so I thought you said 2008 to 2014, and I asked Rick if those years meant anything to him. So that's what I said.
He's kind of quiet on that one right now.
Yeah, it's a simple yes.
2008 to 2014. Well, as you know, I am a hoaxer, and I did hoax in 2008, and then again in 2014. But there was one thing in between there that wasn't a hoax, and that was San Antonio 2012, September 6th. Laugh as you may, but that's the God's honest truth. I have no reason to lie now. I've already made it. I don't have no reason to lie. Ooh, and the quietness spreads over the... Look, y'all, the funny part is that, I don't know, about a month and a half ago, a Bigfoot researcher that is known asked me to help him do a hoax. And I talked to him for a while, and then I decided, no, find someone else. Because it's like... I've been there and done that a lot of times, and I don't want to go in that direction no more. I want to go in the path of the righteous researcher. But I will tell you that I was in a conference in 2011, and I was trying to get on the straight and narrow then, and I started to go to a conference, and it was in Oklahoma, and Ken Gerhard was there, and Lyle Blackburn, and a British author was there, and they all did their presentations. But I'm not gonna lie. When I showed up, I was the most popular person there. And I don't know if that intimidated them because people was coming to my booth and my table, like I'm talking about a crowd. And I stepped away to go in the porta potties. And when I was at the porta potties, I looked up the woods. There was a trail there, and Ken Gerhard was making a footprint. And I didn't think nothing about it then. And so I didn't say anything at all. And then when the news people were talking to me and they did my interview, Ken ran over there and said, "Hey, come here, I found a footprint." And it was not just Ken. Ken made it, but it was Ken, and it was another researcher that was kind of a hefty guy with a black beard and black long curly hair. And they showed the news. Oh yeah, they're definitely there, and here's the footprint, and here's this, and here's that. And that's when I realized back in 2011, I said, this guy, when I came here, I was under the impression that, oh, he's a stand-up guy, stand-up researcher. And come to find out, he was a hoaxer too, because he just hoaxed the footprint. But now I'm back on. Yep.
Were you the only one that witnessed this, or was anything ever said about that before, or? No,
that I never really said anything about that until I don't know, about 6 or 7 months after I was on a radio interview and told someone that, and then that's why Ken can't stand me now, because I spoke the truth about that. And but so be it. That's what happened, and you can look at the news footage and see exactly. You can actually see the footprint they supposedly made. But that right there turned me off, and I thought that everyone was a hoaxer back in 2011. Huh, baby?
I made you a present.
You made me a present? Oh my goodness!
Daddy, guess what? There's a green frog.
Hold on. I'm on the phone, baby. But they made me a present. You see the frog?
I made her a rainbow clown.
Oh. Oh, y'all. Well, anyway, y'all. Kids are calling.
Okay. Hey, Rick, how old are your kids?
Well, I have.
He look ugly.
We have a total of 7. I do. 3 is with my ex-wife, and the 4 here are 1, 3, 4, 9. The one that's on my back like a monkey is 9, and then I have one that's 10, 11, and 19.
Sounds like you're playing the lottery.
Oh, wow. Wow, yeah. My oldest, she'll be 15 on the June 3rd, so.
God bless you.
Oh, congratulations. And they're wonderful. I love my kids. Say hello.
Hello.
But I gotta go, y'all. Thanks for having me. And when you find out who Ed Brown is, could someone tell me?
Ed who?
Exactly. Peace. See y'all later.
Later.
All right, you were kind of breaking up there a little bit there, Rick.
All right, I got
leaving,
four.
So.
All right, I got 4 paragraphs now. I guess how many paragraphs you need for a song? 5, 4, 5.
Wait,
16.
All right.
16 paragraphs. Fred, are you
I
kidding
left
me?
you one on the chat. I left you one on the chat there, Grady.
Hold on.
Left you a paragraph.
Hey, everyone's. All right, hold on 1 second. Everyone's lagging. I don't know if it's me or what. I was gonna drop out and come right back in and see if it helps.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right.
That'll be my ride.
Okay, yeah. Hey, y'all want to hear what I got? Y'all want to hear what I got so far?
Go ahead.
Go.
Sing it.
All right, Cam, I'm gonna talk to. See, there was a guy who rides around the country in a big white van called Ed Brown. Who's Ed Brown? He sneaks around in a white van looking for the thing called Bigfoot. Ed Brown. He's a wild and crazy guy who's tall, and his name is Big Ed Brown. He chases the big boys through the mountains to get their scat. Who's Ed Brown? Okay, that tells me I wasn't worth the shit.
That's brilliant, Fred.
Hey, hey, all I'm doing is helping Walter Shrum.
You gotta put who's Ed Brown.
I did.
You can't tell him that's Ed Brown. You gotta say, well, who's Ed Brown?
All right. When I put, he'll chase the boys through the mountains to get their scat. Who's Ed Brown? That's what I put on the last paragraph.
I think you need to leave scat out of it.
Huh?
I think you need to leave the word scat out.
Well, you want me to put shit in there?
No, I think you should change it to something.
Well, what's wrong
Footprints, hair, something. No, you don't want it to be. You want it to be family friendly.
It is. It's a comical song.
Ha ha.
Your song, Fred. Do
Well,
what you like.
Well, if it's, I mean, Ed can do what, Walter can change the words if he wants, I'm just sending him paragraphs, because I said I'll help him. I didn't know he was going to ask me.
Well, you are musically inclined to some extent.
Okay, let me see what I can do here. It says,
I could ask my husband. He's a good songwriter, but he ain't here.
Yeah, we'll see. Everybody knows everybody on here. As far as the like who's Ed Brown and Walter Shrum, they know each other.
Yeah, I don't know him.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll take
There we go.
Well, Daniel, I got 4 paragraphs already. Ed can change. Walter can change what he wants to. All
right.
4 sentences.
What?
You said you had 4 paragraphs? You mean 4 sentences?
Well, yeah, whatever.
Well, you got to have a chorus. Have you got a chorus?
Yeah, the chorus is Who's Ed Brown?
Okay, you got to have the chorus.
Who's
then you
Ed
got
Brown?
to have at least
Ed
2
Brown?
verses, if
Ed
not
Brown.
3.
Let's see.
He's the slowest guy around.
Ed Brown.
All right, let's see.
All right,
tell you what.
Let's move on.
Okay, I got a question for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Let Fred work on his song.
I got one question after you, Daniel. Go ahead.
Okay, this is something I was thinking about. Hold on, my computer's acting up right now. Hold on. Okay, everyone hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was thinking about investigations and reports. I'm sure a number of we gather reports, or take reports people share with us. I mean, I've heard quite a few, and I always document them when people share them with me. I've actually gone to investigate some. But I want to ask everybody, as far as in their opinion or their knowledge from their experience, what proper information do you guys gather, and how do you investigate? Yeah, let's start off with that. What information do you gather? And then we could turn this into a 2-in-1 question. Like what information do you gather, and how do you investigate or conduct your investigations?
Well, if I get a call,
and whoever wants to start.
Fred starting.
Okay.
No, go ahead, Fred.
If I get a call, I get the name, address, the phone number, what happened, get them to describe what they saw, you know, and everything. I'll come down there and I'll get them to walk me through the process on their property of what they saw, where they saw, what was it doing, you know, and then I'll walk the property, then take, you know, well, with them, you know, I'll start seeing, you know, stuff I'll see, I'll explain to them exactly what I'm looking at and everything, and try to get them to understand exactly what they're doing to a point. You know, they could be living on her property or his property. They could be passing through. You know, they could be stopping. You know, to force for food or something like that. You know, to get the person to understand exactly what they are and what they do, and get her to the point where she's not scared or terrified. You know, and then you do the investigation. You know, and you tell her exactly what the situation is. You know, try to make her feel comfortable. You know, about them being there. You know.
You
In other words,
talking about?
in
You
other
talking
words,
about
it's
that?
like
Go ahead.
no, no, it's like if Leo called me and says I got a squatch on my property, I think and he's doing this, he's doing this, so I'll go down there and I'll talk to her. You know, she gives me the information and I go down there and then she takes me around her property, shows me this, that, and the other. You know, and I start seeing stuff and I start explaining stuff to her. You know, exactly what's going on that I from what I see. You know, and then give her some ideas on about 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 him, you know, about the Squatch, you know, and what they're doing, if they're staying there, if they're just passing through or whatever. So, you know, about like that, you know. Basically, it's to get the person to settle down and not be scared of what's on her property. That's
You
Now,
want
that's
to?
what.
I would
are
try to.
you? Go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry.
I would try to get things like Fred would say, but I'd also entail. I would try to get like the weather, the way the weather was that day, sunset times, the time that it happened. I would look for you know, the exact location if they can remember. If they can remember, I would try to obviously look for evidence in the area. Try to get height references, what they believe that the height would be, and I would try to use a tree or brush or something in that area for an object that you could use, you know, for height reference. You know, there's a lot of things that you can.
Well, you know, in the city, you know, or up there where you live at, you know, it's you know, you got people up there, you know, who are more in the suburbs and everything like that, you know. But you got people down here in the mountains, you know, so you got to approach people in the mountains differently, and you got to talk to them differently than you do, you know, like you know, yeah. What time of day was it? Was the sun high? Was the sun low? Was it raining? Was it dew outside? You know, that doesn't matter to them. They just want to know about about what's going on the property. You know, so you gotta.
One of y'all calling me?
No. So you know you got to take and you know you got you know you know for mountain folks it's a little bit different. You know you got to kind of get into their type of talking. So that's why I say what I did. You know because I deal with a lot of people here in the mountains. You know now up in your area I would approach someone and talk to them, explain to them the way you did. But here in my neck of the woods, you know, in the mountains, you know, you got to approach it differently. You
Right,
know,
but
you got,
I'm not. I live in a small town. There's, you know, 15,000 people. The research areas that I go to, or where there's sightings, there may only be 2,000 or 3,000 people living. It is, you know, it's part of the Appalachian and everything else, but it's the foothills.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to approach every witness different. There's no standard protocol, I would say.
yeah,
But
because you know around here,
if people
go.
ask you to come out, and they're going to be more approachable and more into talking to you than if you
Right.
heard about a sighting
Right.
way up the hell in the hollow, and you know, old
Yeah,
man
because
Johnson don't want to talk to you. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, because people here in the mountains, you know, like Daniel can go up on top of the parkway in my area and start talking to people about Bigfoot. They're gonna look at him and say, "I don't know you, and I ain't talking to you." But since I was raised around these folks, I can go in there and I can start talking to them, and they'll talk to me about it because they know me, they know who I am.
Right.
I've been around here all my life, so there's certain ways that you gotta, it's they're the same people, but they were raised different, so you gotta approach them on their level,
But either
So,
way, no matter which way you approach them, you still have to get all the proper, you could say documentation, but you have to get all the facts. You need the facts either.
that's why you talk to
it.
That's why you talk to them differently, because by talking to them, like the way I do, I get more information by letting them tell me. Then I'll ask certain questions, but I got to do it at certain times, during the conversation, because if you start saying, well, okay, that's cool, but what time was this, you get too technical for them, and they get pissed off, so you have to approach it certain ways, it's doing the same thing you're doing, but it's not getting too technical, but it's technical.
Fast.
Yeah, it's too fast for them, so you got to kind of slow it down, and make it to where they can understand what you're trying to say without getting them scared to death.
Yeah, you got to give them time to be comfortable with you and let them tell it in their time rather than as a reporter, go in and what time and how tall and blah, 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 blah. You got to let them.
You're not just going to come out. You're not just going to come out and start blabbing all that. You're going to get to know the person first. But his question was, what does he need to ask on an investigation?
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. But there's certain, but you ask the same questions, but you go about it a different way.
Yeah. One way this is where I gather the information to actually ask questions. After meeting up with an individual who's actually reported what they did report to you, when you meet up with them, after you introduce yourself and everything, you want to let them run you through what they saw or what they experienced. And as you're listening, questions will come into you. You ask one question at a time, then they'll go into another explanation, and you can follow that up with another question. Like questions like some of the ones I've done. After gathering the information, after they ran me through and pointed out this and this is what happened over there, it was next to that tree over there, and the details of the driver as they were riding up the road, how they almost went off the road, and then standing across the road where the sighting took place. I'm actually using one of my last reports that I actually went to investigate. I'm using that as an example. I actually have an audio of that report, which is hard to hear because of traffic that was going by that time of day. And
was that lady on the side of the road?
Yep.
Up on the mountain. Oh, okay.
Yeah, going up the mountain.
Yeah. I think you should always videotape and audio tape it separately.
Absolutely. And that's actually what took place. I had my audio recorder in my hand while she was talking, and I was asking questions. She was talking me through it. And then what happened was afterwards, then we did I told her, I said, well, I want to get over there. I want you to compare me to the subject that you saw. And, I'm 6 foot tall. I got up on the bank where the subject was standing, and she said, okay, she got me into position. And, we did the height comparison thing, and that's something I do a lot of often too, is like that, we did the same thing when we were trying to debunk our situation from our encounter of 2014. We went back the next day to the same location where we had our encounter. And, we did the height comparison, matching everything up. And then as far as the details, you get, the details of the subject, if there's a subject involved, of course, and you want to get a description of the subject, was it standing, what was it doing, little details like that. But as far as letting the individual, the one reporting to you, that's how I start. I like to let them run through their story, and then that's where questions develop. And then while questions develop, then you get your answers, and then it may actually, some of those explanations lead to other questions. I think each individual, each report is not going to be the same either. Because I've learned that as well too. I've actually interviewed a set of campers who had activity right there at their camp, and what after I learned all this information, after they shared the information to me, and what was going on, what happened, each day they experienced something. I actually told them, I said, I told them, I said, what you're telling me, even though I didn't see nothing, I'm gathering your information. I knew their story was legit because their story happened in a area where I go to all the time, and that's where we had our encounter. And they were kind of surprised. They didn't know that was my area. These people didn't know what I do. Well, I took that back. The person that was in, there were three people. There were the one girl. She knew me from Facebook, and she knew this is what I do. She got a hold of me, and of course, when I was first hearing about it, I was like, well, this person was always serious before. I was like, after they kept telling me, you got to come out here, you got to come out here. I said, why? What's going on? She said, all the response was Bigfoot, Bigfoot. I was like, are you serious? Or are you just messing with me? No, I'm dead serious. Get out here now. I said, well, where are you? And when they told me where they were, to find out exact location, I met up with them outside the location, and I followed them in, and when I saw where the location was, I was like, wow. I was like, I mean, before they even started sharing information with me, I was convinced already, because I know what is in there. So it was like a big surprise. It was kind of exciting. But but as far as like I said, gathering the information, after running through any kind of reenactment, possible reenactment, I also have the habit of wanting to investigate the surrounding area. Not just where the event took place, but I want to go a little bit further and beyond and search the whole area, look for other evidence, that may be related to whatever subject was in that area. I've actually done that, on the set of campers I actually investigated. So, but this kind of brings me to another question I wanted to ask with this. Is there a wrong way to investigate? What's everyone's thought or opinion on that?
I think before we move on, let's see what Nikki. Nikki is around the Native Americans, the older folks, that kind of thing.
Right.
Well,
could we hear her opinion?
I grew up in Arizona, and I did most of my research when I was out there on the Mogollon Rim, but I never really considered myself a researcher. So I would have never taken anybody's statements or anything like that. Everything I went out to do, was for me.
But you experienced and looked for and heard a lot of.
Well, that's the whole thing. I never have. As much as I was out there in the woods from growing up and stuff, I never heard or saw anything I couldn't explain. Whether it be elk or deer or the raccoon or skunks or whatever it was, I could always find what it was. But there was a lot of people I knew who had unexplained things, and I knew them so well that I trusted them, So
exactly.
And it's a good area out there. Although in the last 5 years, Arizona has been devastated with wildfires, so I have a feeling a lot have migrated more towards the east into New Mexico, which is good because now I'm in El Paso. So, when I get started back up, that's what I'm going to try to do most of the New Mexico because we're right there. And, but, as far as research, I don't research. I've never considered myself a researcher. I go out, I have fun, You know, if I find tracks, they're my tracks. I will put them on my videos, but it's not really to prove them. Unless I run into a body, that's what would make me go, show people or have
Yeah.
people.
My point was the Native American factor and the stories um,
Well,
that
for a
you
long
have.
time, they wouldn't share. For a long,
Yeah.
long time, you had to be able to be accepted on the reservation before they would even talk to you. But now it's a whole new age, and a lot of them will open up with their heritage and things that they do differently. And there's a lot of researchers now on the reservation in the Four Corners
Yeah.
area. And it's really great, because they're sharing so much. But that's not the way it used to be, not when I was over there. And I did a lot of my
Yeah.
internship in the reservation, so it's very difficult to talk to the elders there. They didn't want anything to do with me or any outsiders. So,
Yeah.
but it's up and
Well,
coming.
I've heard you speak about. I've heard you speak about your history and a lot of things before, and it's so very interesting to me. And
Yeah.
so I just wanted to uh, let you comment on that maybe before we moved on,
Oh yeah.
um,
Yeah. Well, I've
because I know. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say I've tried to be a researcher and do everything the right way, and it was just not for me. It was too much for me to do because I wasn't having
Yeah.
fun anymore. I
Yeah.
like to go out there and have fun. And to be honest with you, a lot of the people who see Bigfoot are out there doing something else. They're fishing or hunting
Yeah.
or camping with their families, and they just happen upon something unexplained.
Yeah.
Um, and the ones who are out there every weekend looking for them don't find them. So I don't know. There's something to that. So
Yeah.
maybe in the future I'll get lucky and become a knower, because that's what I really just want, is just to be a knower and have fun and get more understanding. But
I
you're
agree.
right. Every area has their own. I truly believe every area has their own type and species of them. They're all a little bit different. So um,
What would make you a knower?
seeing it with my own eyes, seeing them with my own eyes, having my own experience. Footprints, no. Tree structures, no. I've found structures, I've found footprints, but it's no.
Well,
I
so
don't know.
so what do you think the footprints you found? Uh, what was your basis and logic for the footprints?
When I first found my first ones and I was out there where there weren't any people at that time, my first thought was, who's walking out here barefooted? Really? There was poison oak everywhere in this particular area, and I'm like, who would do that? And that was way a long time ago, but that was my first thought. It never went to Bigfoot until later, and I started really getting into it was when I moved out of the country for 3 years, and I had nothing better to do than to watch YouTube videos. And I know that's not a good learning source, but that's what got me interested in the beginning, and it started reminding me of all these other things that I had found in this particular area, actually not too far away from where Mitchell White used to have his area. So it's kind of, wow, okay, maybe something. So that's what got me interested. So, um, but just like I said, I think New Mexico has a very different type than Arizona. more arid. Arizona's and New Mexico are arid areas, so ooey. I think they're different. I think they're meaner from accounts that I've read, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. Maybe when I am ready, I'll try to get my own group together to go out as a group.
Nikki, you have talked about Sasquatch and cattle. Am I right? Haven't you talked about Sasquatch and stealing cattle and killing livestock and that type of thing, and that it's in reality they're not all huggy. That
oh yeah,
they're out.
I had made a comment that I don't think all of them, like, it just goes back to the same thing. They're all going to put up with us. You know, I think there's a lot who are mean, and if you come up to them, they're going to be like any other wild animal, but that's where you're going to get people who are saying they're not animals, you know, they're beings, they're human, they're part of the human race, they're whatever they are. And once again, until I see them and feel whatever anybody else felt when they stared him in the eye, I don't know. All I know is that I tend to lean more towards the North American ape theory than anything else. So, and I don't really tend to believe in the whole mind speak thing. But I am willing to change. You know, if it happens to me, I'll be the first to say, hey, it happened, you know. But until it does, I can't go there on the belief side.
Well,
right.
I
agree.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Oh no, I was just telling her I'm the same way. I mean, right now I have to totally dismiss stuff like that and just not go with it. I mean, but you know, if I have a fellow researcher or a friend that does, I'm not gonna, you know, tell them I don't want nothing to do with you. I'll simply disagree. You know, hey, and I'll tell them I don't agree, and I'll try to explain why I don't believe in something like that. But yeah, basically what you just said, Nikki. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, till otherwise something like that happens, if it ever becomes possible, then you know, maybe so.
I have no problem believing in all this stuff if it happens to me, you know. But for right now, I am where I am because I'm not out there in the woods all the time anymore. And, you know, I just have to take what everybody else is putting out there, which actually isn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know? So, not like it was in 2010, 2011. You know, there was new stuff every day coming out. Granted, a lot of it was hoax, but it was interesting, you know. It was interesting to find new videos and new stuff out. And yes, that is real, or no, it's not. Or
But why did you say they were mostly all hoax?
well, I'm talking at that time was when Dyer was doing his stuff and just Biscardi and, you know, some well-known hoax that came out to be hoaxes.
Oh.
So, there's a whole bunch, but even somebody in the YouTube came up and brought up, what was his name? Steve O'Neill. Fred, remember Steve O'Neill? He was the guy who...
I think he froze.
He's froze. Well, anyway, they were talking about a guy by the name of Steve O'Neill who he was a director of a place called Earthshine nature program or something, and he had a series of videos that portrayed, he was like a turtle researcher or something, and he had a series of videos of some really awesome footprints, and then he found a bedding area, and he put a camera up in the bedding area, And lo and behold, a Sasquatch comes and knocks it over and bumps it and everything. And the videos looked really good. And he totally had convinced me that he had done it. And then all of a sudden, one of his videos in the description, he put on there, "This is all a hoax. This is all just for publicity." And I was like, oh my God, you know. This guy had been carrying me for a week or so, couple weeks, you know, with his videos. But that's just the way it is, you know.
The video was very compelling, you know, because he had it right there like at a cave area, you know, and then for about maybe 25 to 30 seconds, you could hear him go, and all of a sudden the camera goes flying through the air, you know, then comes over and he stomps on it, you know.
Yeah.
But
and I remember I was so disappointed. I was like, oh, I thought this was a real guy, you know. But it wasn't, and you know, that's just, you have to take it. But I didn't really get. You move on. You just move on to the next thing. You don't get mad about it. Just move on.
Yeah. That's
just like
true.
Just like with any of the other things, with Dyer too. You know, I loved it because it was my personal soap opera, my Bigfoot soap opera every day. I wanted to see what was new. So.
Hey, I'll be right back, everyone. Just give me a couple minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still here.
Shortly.
I'm talking like 4 people at the same time.
We can tell. You're all distracted.
Yes, Fred.
Say what?
You're distracted.
Yeah, I get distracted easy. No, but you know, I mean, the video was, which Nikki's talking about, the video was good, you know, but the guy, I mean, he did it so well that it actually almost convinced us that it was real. But he said he said he did it more for educational purposes.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
Nikki, you still got them videos, or do we have to go to Shane's link to get them?
I think we'd have to go to Shane because that was like over a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who else?
I don't know if I've seen those.
No, I don't think this is before we met anybody, you know, really. This one, me and Nikki was hot into the finding
looking for Bigfoot thing.
Yeah, because if you go under Shane Berryberry's page, you'll see me, Nikki, Girly Bigfooter, Henry, Shane, you know, all in one big, you know, Bigfoot picture, you know, and all that thing. But guess who guess who I'm trying to get on my show for? My show's called Researchers Across the Country. What I do is I take and do videos on other researchers, and I take the information it teaches me. Plus, if you have a question on the video or you want to learn something, I'll send you the video. So I'm trying to get Melissa Adair to do one of my interviews with me, but apparently she is too busy to do anything.
They're doing all kinds of stuff right now, but up and coming show and stuff, aren't they? Or something. I know I read something on their new site over here. Let me see, what's it called? It's called Surge. Their Sasquatch Unlimited Research. Monsters Don't Stand a Chance Chasing Bigfoot. Called Chasing Bigfoot. I don't know what they're going to be doing, but
I don't know them.
Creating their own. They're creating their own web series called Chasing Bigfoot. We have so much research footage, and they just want to put it out there. And
well, that sounds cool.
Yeah, so we should be seeing more
real footage.
Oh yeah, they're always out there.
Cool.
Always.
Okay, everybody, I'm back. I had to give me something to drink.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, what?
So, what would Daniel? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah. What I wanted to say. Pardon me. I sent
Yeah, go ahead, Fred.
I sent Connie Fox, and I think I sent Lale one of a link that was put up on my page. Was a guy had a Bigfoot caught, put in a box, and shipped to his farm in New Jersey.
I don't remember that.
No,
Was that recently?
it was Connie Fox sent it to, but she put it around. It was an interview a guy did on, I think it was Coast to Coast AM or something like that. It was on some interview that he said he had a Bigfoot caught and shipped to his farm in a crate.
It sounds familiar.
Well, it was just put up today. You wouldn't believe the shit that people send me. I mean, really, you know. But it was. If you listen,
it sounds familiar, but I must be thinking of something else from the past.
Well, you're just so popular, Freddie.
Huh?
Isn't he?
I said you're just so darn popular.
Yeah, I know.
He's a great guy.
Me and Shane's running neck and neck.
Oh, I like Shane too.
Let's see. Yeah, I got an interesting.
Send it, Fred. I'm sorry, Daniel.
No, you're fine. I had an interesting question for everybody.
Okay.
I want to hear everybody's opinion on this question here. Is Bigfoot, would you consider Bigfoot an endangered species?
Repeat that again. You skipped half of it.
All right. I know everyone's skipping on me too. I can't hear. It's hard to make everyone out.
All right. I'll tell you the best way to get everybody to hear. Everybody mute yourselves.
Yeah, there's too many interference with everybody.
Yeah,
I can hear everybody fine.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. The question is, and I'm reading this out of my book. I'm using this as a question. It's a section in my book. It's called Endangered Species. And in this short, brief section, the topic starts off is the way I have it worded, I'm going to word it a little different compared to the way I have it worded it in my book. But as far as endangered species go, would you consider Bigfoot or Sasquatch an endangered species? And I'll start with Fred on this one. Fred's muted right now.
All right. Repeat that question one more time.
Do you believe Bigfoot is endangered?
No. Oh, hell no. He ain't no endangerment. Because we have, believe it or not, we have more Squatches on the East Coast than we do the West Coast.
And I'm going to be honest with you.
Whatever. You don't know that.
Hey, Nikki, you live in Flatland. You don't know. You live in the Flatland. You don't know.
I don't care where I live. You don't know that.
Yes, hey, if you look at the schematics on the species, guess what? Bigfoot completely tolerates the whole East Coast more.
No. He just tolerates all the Appalachian all the way from the bottom to the top. Same thing on the West Coast. He goes from the Sierras all the way up to Washington. It's the same thing on both sides.
There are more sightings on the East Coast than there is the West Coast. The only reason that is kind of even right now because people
that just means that people don't want to say stuff because they're protecting them.
Exactly. But my opinion, we have more Squatches on the East Coast, and I don't think they're in danger because one Squatch could flip a tractor trailer like a KW by itself. That's a tremendous amount of strength. If you hit him in the right spot, maybe if you're not, like Gulf Coast Bigfoot Resource Organization, they're using shotguns. All the shotguns are going to do is just piss them off.
No.
Look how, hey, the one that stepped out in front of me. Hey, the one stepped out in front of me in '81. That son of a biscuit eater looked like a brick wall. I don't think
But he's not. He's still flesh and blood. He will go down. He will die.
But But I do not want to be around when he does get back up.
No, probably not because of him, but because of the three others that are around you.
Hey, this is a good debate. Keep it up. Love it. I love a good debate.
I don't think they're endangered either, by the way.
We got a East versus the West debate here.
Okay,
I'm not even in the West though. I'm Southwest.
Okay.
Fred is a master debater.
Let me put it this way. Nikki knows how I am, but I will say this. I went to Texas one time when I was driving a tractor trailer, and I went into a store and said, "Where's y'all's mountains at?" The lady said, "Right across the road." I said, "Oh, you mean them molehills?" God, they got nasty with me. So I know Texas has got squatches, little teeny short ones. I've never heard of anything being over 7 foot tall in Texas.
I would say probably the max here would be shorter, probably in the 9 foot, not 7. But they all have to be 7 at some point. But I mean, top notch, I don't think we've got the big 12 to 16, 17 footers out in the Southwest. We don't.
No, and we
just
don't
have the water for that. We don't have the game for that. So.
Well, Canada would be the one with the 12, 14, 15 footers.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, you got to expect. You come into Canada, you come down Canada through Washington State to get shorter and less aggressive, and as you come across the United States, you get shorter. The tallest one in my area is 11 foot tall. He's the only big one I've seen in my area. But the remainder of them is the average of 6 to 9 foot tall. Now, out your way, like with Maximus and them, there was 9 to 10 footers out there around the oil wells that they got that one crawling, sneaking by one of the guys on the ground.
Oh, in the Southwest? Oh, wait, where was that?
That was last year.
Oh, I remember that. What was the name of that place?
I don't know because Mike sent me one of the
I can't remember.
That floor that I used, Daniel, when me and you went camping the second time. That camp
what about it?
Well, that's the one that I had to get back to Mike's to take down to Texas with. That's what they used, and they caught they caught a squatch at in an oil field about 40 feet from this guy on his belly, sneaking up the side of a hill, trying to get around this guy by like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I totally remember that picture, and I didn't 100% believe that picture either.
Believe it or not, it's real.
I never went one way or the other with it. I saw the picture a lot. I saw all the pictures and then they tried to make the picture better and stuff, but
well, it was a black and white thermo.
Yeah, it was. I remember.
And being 40 foot away, it looked huge, but it was on his belly crawling up by that guy. The guy had his back turned. He heard something. He just turned around and looked. And if without the thermo, he wouldn't have seen it because it was too dark. But he had the thermo, and he seen it crawling up the hill. He just stood there and looked at it. Really didn't say anything until after it got up and hauled ass, after it got up by him. He said, "Hey, there's a squatch right there." Just walked up. Here's the thermo of it, Everything like I remember that. But it was interesting how they do it, But far as the squatches, being scared or being endangered, I don't think so, man. Now maybe the government has something to do with them, trying to eradicate them, but I don't know. But as far as I know, West Virginia, they got a boatload of them, because in West Virginia you got some mighty, mighty, mighty steep hollows back there. I won't go. Now I'm not scared to go into any mountains. I'm not scared to go walk through it by myself without a flashlight at nighttime. But in West Virginia, I would, because there's places back in West Virginia that no one has been able to get to far as walking wise, and there are some big squatches back there. We got them here. We got some big squatches here in Virginia, up and down the East Coast, but you got to go up high into the thicket part of the mountains to get to them. But being endangered, no, I don't think so. There. I'm done. Nicky.
All right.
I love having arguments with Nicky.
If you hear me yeah, if you hear me laughing, I'm laughing from what you and Nikki were saying earlier. What you said, Nikki, but more here. I mean, if I have to throw in my 2 cents on that, because what I've stated before is just I believe the East Coast is underestimated when it comes to the as far as population of Squatches. I believe because it seems like everywhere I've looked and everything I observed from other sightings and reports outside of the East Coast, a lot of it came from the far northwest coast. And give or take if inland a little further inland, but it's just I think a lot of reports, there's a lot of things that go unsaid or unspoken of here on the East Coast. And it's like, just from my observations and just from my investigating, in my own research areas, I mean, to find what I'm finding, it's telling me there's more than one here because there's no way one subject is doing what I'm, creating all these tracks that I'm finding. And where I go, there's specific areas that I go that no one knows these areas that I go into. So who's to say? I mean, who would consider hoaxing? These tracks that I'm finding. I'm finding, what I believe, which a lot of people don't believe. Believe that tracks are not, I don't know what the right word to use, but they say tracks is not sufficient evidence, more or less. It's not solid evidence. It's not considered physical evidence. But the tracks that I find, I believe without doubt, they're coming from Sasquatch. I don't believe I have a McDodge running around in my area. And when I say my area, if people could ever imagine what my area looks like, Fred knows. Fred's been in it. It's just I venture a lot further deeper in just to go in deeper. Because, I believe they are in deeper. And when I go in deep and I put a lot of miles on my feet to go in just to explore in hopes to find something that's more convincing for others so I could maybe help share the right stuff. I mean, I do things that I feel that's necessary. Now, if I have my daughter with me, no, I limit how far I go. I just don't feel comfortable going too far because if she gets hurt, then we're SOL. Um, but I believe that there is quite a bit here, and there's people slowly coming out of the woodwork. And once people get familiar with you and start knowing who you are, they get comfortable enough with you. Kind of like what Fred was talking about earlier. People will start talking though. I mean, and I get people. That's how I've been getting people sharing stuff with me and like pulling me aside. Someone sees me at a gas station. After I walk outside, they're like, "Hey, you're the Bigfoot guy?" I say, "Yeah." Look, no, I'm not shitting you, man. They'll start off. I've had that happen to me and start sharing stuff with me. I mean, it's awesome. It's exciting to hear people like come out, come pull you aside just to tell you stuff, and they'll go into some, a lot of details about stuff, But yeah, I mean, I know I get in a long drawn out explanation, but it's just like I said, I think the East Coast is underestimated as far as the population goes. I do believe we have a fairly large, abundant, amount of groups and clans of a population spread about, but and some people may ask, especially a skeptic or somebody, well, if this is the case, why isn't there more sightings? I said, I believe there is a lot of sightings. Depends on the location, depends on the population of, or the traffic of people that go into these areas. How often do they get to be in these areas? People fail to realize the thousands of acres that are just in these one little areas, The areas are so vast. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, I think on the East Coast they're kind of spread out a little bit more, and on the West Coast they're more concentrated in areas. Just like that,
I can
just like that map I just had up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely agree with that. And that kind of raises another question as far as if we want to get into. Hold on, I was just looking at the live chat. Well, size, is there a size comparison from the east to the west as far as squatches go? I mean, I think it varies on whatever on the groups and the clans of the squatches. I don't know if this is my opinion as far as I don't think they really, I don't think the East Coast might have bigger squatches compared to the West Coast. The West Coast might have bigger squatches, but then I don't know. I think it all depends because you get reports, you hear things of, um, you hear of, oh, okay, it was 9 foot tall. 8 foot tall. I mean, I had a report from somebody that was doing some work in the house here, and it happened 20 years ago. And when he shared his story with me, I was like, he told me where it was and told me how tall the subject was. I was like, I can't wait to go tell Fred because that report came from Fred's area. And you know what? This comes from some total stranger who don't know who I am and doesn't know nothing. Doesn't know nothing about where I go, what I do. But I think, yeah, I don't know if Fred remembers, but I did share that information with him. And I have reason to believe it was that 11-footer that Fred talks about.
What was that, Daniel?
Remember that one guy? He was doing some work at my parents' house, doing some work, and
Oh yeah, the painter.
My father told me about him, and I went talked to him, and he shared his hunting experience with what he was up on his tree stand, and
Yeah.
him and his son that was hunting out there, they kept hearing all this weird chatter type noise and whoop. They heard a lot of whooping and stuff in the area, and then from out of nowhere, he said he was about 20 feet high off the ground. He said the top of this guy's head was probably just below his feet, and he came out of the tree line, the bushes, and walked through, and just didn't even look at him. But the guy saw the side view, and as it walked away, and walked away and didn't hear nothing as it disappeared into the behind all the foliage and stuff. But he said it was probably around a good 11 foot. That's what the guy said. He said you might think I'm BSing you, but I know what I saw. I was like, as soon as you got done telling me the story, Fred was the first person that popped in my head. I was like, I got to tell Fred this, even though it was 20 years old. It was a 20-year-old story, but the guy never forgot it. He will never forget it.
And
so he's I know they're there.
yeah, I've run into that 11-footer twice already. Both times he threw rocks at me, and both times I picked the rocks up and said, "You drop these," and threw them right back at him.
And it was longer than 20 years ago when Fred saw him the first time. It was like 30 years ago, right, Fred?
No, this was the one I saw was in Highland County. He was a 9-footer. This 11-footer is in my area that I'm in now.
No, okay.
Yeah, because the guy who shared the report. Yeah.
Yeah, he's it's hard to tell how long these squatches live, but every description I get every year from hunters describes they give me the exact height, the exact same color, and near the same time of the evenings. Every year I get the same report by different people from like New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Ohio, people like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so but apparently when this guy had his sighting, Fred, there was more than one with him though. There was more than, even though they didn't see the other ones, they heard them because they were communicating. This, according to his story, while he was in his tree stand, he said, he said because him and his son, they were hearing stuff and they were like, what the hell, and apparently it was pretty close to them before he saw what he saw. He heard whoop whoop whoop, some whooping. So he said what he thought was like sounded like some weird chatter type sound. That's exactly what he said. So, yeah, but that was pretty cool to hear stuff like that, knowing where it comes from. I mean, that's what got me looking in where I go, because my area is basically only start off, as kind of a camping area more or less, and then when I started getting information, well, I started looking in there on my own. But when I was learning about the sightings that were in their area, like I was actually told of firsthand of a sighting. By now, it's been probably 4 years now, Well, when I first heard about the sighting in my area, I was like, when this gentleman told me exact location, I was like, I camp right up the road from there. I was like, wow, that is awesome. And shoot, there's no denying what's there. I mean, between the encounters, the findings, uh, you know, the experiences that both me and Fred had together while we were out there. I mean, there's no denying it. They're there.
Yeah.
I mean,
people don't
and anyone
realize.
else who's been with me or Fred out there.
Yeah, people don't realize, here in the Shenandoah Valley, it's very, very hot with them. I mean, in Daniel's area, they're very vocal. My area, they're not vocal, but they will let you know that they're there. Like when we camped out, we heard chattering, we heard wood knocks, we heard, I was hearing all sorts of stuff, and so was Layla and her cousin, and I know Jeff had to hear something because he was in the Jeep across the road, but he won't admit it because he knows I'm right, and everything. But we get eye shine constantly.
Yeah, some of what you're saying I could hear.
I was talking about like when we camped out, we were getting all these sounds, and Jeffrey, I know Jeffrey heard some of them in the back of his Jeep. I know he did, but he won't admit it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did we ever tell everybody how we were staring at his Jeep and then we heard something by the time me and you turned around? Because it was at nighttime.
Yeah.
And he was doing a complete tumble right over that rock, that big stone.
Yeah, he saw.
He was trying to sneak up on me and Fred.
Yeah, he was trying to.
He scraped his arm up bad too.
Yeah, he was trying to sneak up on me and Daniel, and we heard something, and right when we turned around, he flipped over that rock, because they put rocks up, big boulders up there to keep us from driving in there, because people were going in there and turning the place up, but Jeffrey didn't think about them rocks, and I know he got a good shin scratch too.
Well, I don't mean to laugh at him. I'm sorry he got hurt. But in the whole general thing, it was funny that he was trying to scare y'all and tumbled over. But yeah, he scraped his arm up really good. Where's Daniel?
He went off again.
All right, take over, Fred.
All right. But people just don't realize, East Coast has got a lot of squatches, and people just don't realize it, They think, oh, blah, blah, this, and blah. They think, blah, blah, this, and blah, blah, that, But, a lot of people see squatches, but they don't want to say anything because they're going to say, but they think I'm crazy. They think I need some kind of drug, something like that, And when they do see something, all right, Nikki, I sent you a picture just a few minutes ago. Okay.
Yeah.
When you click on it.
Yeah.
Did you see that black?
Yeah.
That was a 9-footer, 80 feet from me that I did a video on called "How to Make Them Give the Location Away and Be Seen at the Same Time," and I got that.
Yeah, it looks like a head peeking around the corner.
No, that was his whole left side from his neck over.
Oh.
It was his left, from the center of his chest over to the left.
Uh-huh.
And if you take that picture and save it and make it bigger and zoom in on it, you can see the hair coming off its arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But see, people don't realize, we got them here. We see them. We acknowledge them, but other people say like, nah, or when they see a picture, oh, that's pareidolia. Do you know what pareidolia?
That was a pretty good picture, even without blowing it up.
Yeah.
It's actually better if you don't blow it up.
Yeah.
Well,
it has more definition.
Well, yeah. Ryan, I don't think you've seen this picture before.
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying pictures in general.
Yeah, it's true because And a lot of people say, "Oh, it's pareidolia." Do you know what I tell them when they start saying that? Oh, you mean? Oh, that's right. Your mind cannot comprehend what you're looking at because you've never seen one before. So you're going to say pareidolia just to get the conversation stopped to make you look good. But when you keep on talking about it, it pisses them off because they know you're right and they're wrong, and they don't want to admit that. And that's something a lot of people's got to realize. I mean, I've seen a lot of good photographs, you know, and I've seen a lot of so-so photographs, but you got to know what that squatch looks like to see. Like if you see, like, majority of the pictures that come out are squatches in the bushes looking out. Okay, you see one eyeball, but if you taking that photograph and copy it and start working it with lighter colors and stuff, it'll or go negative with it, it'll bring that squatch face out. Like the one I got with the one peeping around the tree at me. Have you seen that one, Nikki?
Isn't that the one you just sent me?
No. Hold on. I'll send it to you again. But people just don't realize. Let me. Shit.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
You sent me 2 recently, or 3? 2?
Yeah,
okay.
I sent you 2.
Original. Okay, yeah.
The very first one I sent you. That close up of the squatch peeping around the tree.
Right.
All right. Paul Halsley cleared it up. I think he went to negative on it and zoomed it in.
Yeah. And then you just sent me the original of that one.
Yeah, that was the one I just sent you. The black one.
Uh-huh.
The photograph, the very first one I sent you, the squatch around the tree, that was behind him, 50 feet behind him, up on a ridge. I had 6 around me that day. But
I'm
people.
looking at it again, but.
People's got to realize, yeah, if you take a picture and you zoom it in, look over kind of right here on his left shoulder, and look right behind him. You'll see that little squatch peeping up behind that tree. But some people don't know, But yeah, they are here. My area, Daniel's area is bigger than mine. Well, I wouldn't say bigger. I'd say more deeper in the mountains than me. I got the Parkway. He's got West Virginia, and he does. I've been hunting over for years, and I know for a fact that every place I've hunted over, even when I was with Asplin working over there, we've seen squatch prints in places where the power lines run through that people don't even go through to hunt. I've seen squatch tracks over there. Everywhere I've seen squatch tracks. Stanton Dam, Elkhorn, Braley Pond, Todd Lake, oh hell, all sorts of places. Reddish Knob. What is that sound?
It's coming from Nikki.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. I have to. My fan comes on because my computer's big. And okay, I'll mute.
Yeah, okay. Plus you got Reddish Knob. Now I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year when I was with this guy with Billy's group, and me and him went to Reddish Knob, and the water was low in the reservoir, and right in the back of it you could see where a female squatch and a baby squatch was walking in the mud. You had the mama's footprints and the baby's footprints walking through the mud.
Hey. I just thought I'd throw it out there. I just got one of my Google notifications. For those who know Dave Stump, which is spelled Stump with an F at the end.
Oh yeah, who is that guy?
Oh, he's on Facebook and everything. He posts a lot on Google Plus. But yeah, I didn't listen to it, but I just got the notification. But the the title to his video is "Who is Ed Brown?" I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can. Probably not. Yeah, it's on my Google. Who is Ed Brown? That's funny. Oh, let's see if we can listen to it. I'll play it. Hold on, everyone, be quiet for a second. If it lets me play it. Hold on, it's loading.
Ed Brown. This is Ed Brown. You know, remember the Red Green show? Isn't Red Green his brother? Ed Brown? I don't know. Who's Ed Brown? I have no idea either. But I think he's related to that Red Green guy. You know, with the duct tape. You know, you don't fix it all with duct tape. I think so. But who's Ed Brown?
There you go. That's from Dave Stump.
Have you seen his? He sent me some of his videos, you know, and
Yeah, I get I get notifications from him all the time.
Yeah, I just don't get into
Cool,
his
Dave.
videos. I just don't get into his videos, man. You know.
Yeah. I don't know. He does some pretty cool stuff. I mean, it's different. What he does, some of his stuff is a little different. A lot of times he's just kind of like he'll tell stories behind stuff sometimes.
I bet James would love it.
Yeah.
Anything weird on YouTube, James is right in there with it.
Yeah. But yeah, he's definitely all Bigfoot, but like he'll share stuff. Like he won't always have a video. Basically what it is, he'll have a picture. Like he might have his camera or his phone, like doing a still shot of a picture or something, and then you'll hear him behind it talking. Sometimes you'll actually see him just staring at the computer and he'll talk while he'll record stuff, you know, while he's on the computer. Yeah, I've checked out some of his stuff. And yeah, he's on Facebook too, so
Usually when he puts a video up on Facebook, he's got his voice changed to real major deep bass when he talks.
He kind of has that deep. Yeah, I think he kind of has that deep voice anyway. You know, he's kind of an older gentleman.
Not that daggone low.
Huh. Let's see. There was something I forgot. There was something I was going to ask, but I can't think about it right now.
Hey, Nikki.
Oh.
Did you see the comment I put under one of the pages that under Smeha's page about what I said about Kelly?
Did I? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Oh.
Well, check it out and check all the comments.
On what page?
The one which it shows Smeha. The original one that Kelly Shaw went after.
Oh, yeah, Kelly Shaw was posting. It's a blog by Kelly Shaw. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the notification earlier.
I saw that, but I didn't look at the comments, so I'll have to go back.
I just basically told him, man. I just, I told everybody, just lay off. It's what's been said, and done, been done. Don't keep. Basically, in a short version, don't keep hashing up shit that's already been done.
I was watching that video today. I was telling Daniel before you got on, Fred. That video that about Smeha, because I wanted to see it. I wanted to hear a different version, another version, whatever, and I'm not passing judgment either way, whatever, but I wanted to see it. I watched most of it. Now I'm going to go back and watch the tail end of it, first chance I get. And it was interesting.
We got a question on the live chat, and I'm going to direct this question to Fred.
Uh-oh.
This is referring or regarding chatter.
Okay.
The question is, does it ever sound like broken English but not discernible? Discernible. Excuse me.
It depends on the times here. what it is, they talk so fast. It's jibber jabber, but I've heard what I thought was Spanish. I've heard Indian language. It just depends on what area you're in.
I would
But
I would I wouldn't say it sounds English. I've never heard any English.
well, I have. I heard a few words, being said, but everything else, you hear about blah, 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 what, blah, 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 hey, blah, 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 something like that, But it's like around here, it's ancient Cherokee dialect, But they talk so fast, you gotta slow it down 98% just to understand what they are saying. It's like walking into a South Korean fish market and listening to them at the same time. They talk so fast. But if you slow it down by 50 to 90%, you can understand what they're saying to a point.
Well,
So
it sounds like a Spanish person in an argument. It's kind of what it sounds like. If you get
yeah,
two Spanish people in an argument and they're
exactly. So in my area, I know what language they speak because I recorded it. I sent it to put it this way, she's a Cherokee spiritualist in Arizona, and she sent it back 2 days later and said that what you're listening to, what they're talking, is ancient Cherokee dialect, which is a language that the Cherokee hasn't spoken in over 1,000 years.
Yeah. If they speak Spanish, they see Fred in the woods, they're probably, oh, mucho loco gringo.
Who
No
knows? Who
bueno.
knows?
Well, I heard a lot of chatter all night long.
Yeah, they were
Saturday
running their
night.
mouth on it long. Yeah, they were talking about y'all.
And it was just like a lot of people have described. In one way, it was like a Tasmanian devil, but it was also like, and I've had so many people have said it, and I heard it for myself. It was it was like definitely people talking, and you just couldn't make out what they were saying, but you were hearing something. I knew I wasn't hallucinating, or I knew I was hearing it, and it was like people talking just out of your hearing, so you just can't quite make it out. So whether or not they spoke English, it was voices. I mean, I assume, I didn't think they were speaking English, but it was voices, and you could tell it was voices, and you just couldn't quite. It was scary to me.
Yeah. Now there was a guy in Canada, Nikki. I think you remember this guy. He went out. He went out at nighttime, and he stayed in his tent, and he was speaking. They were speaking English to him.
Sasquatch, Ontario.
Bingo. Now, what do you think of that? Do you think that's real, or do you think it's hoax?
Who are you asking? Nikki?
Yeah.
I watched all of that stuff. I watched it all, and I took it with a grain of salt.
You seen the handprint on the car.
Seen it all, and him in his little tent, and in the winter, and all the footprints, and some of his pictures.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
And then how they kicked him out of the property recently.
I call hoax.
Or this year they kicked him out of the property, and I don't know if it's because the property owner wanted to end the hoax or if they were trying to protect something. I don't. It seemed a little far-fetched. It really did to me. And recently some of his stuff got put out by Fur and Cedar and Fur, that YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they did a real lengthy video on the Sasquatch Ontario.
Yeah.
Because that was supposedly going to be his last one.
Yeah. Now there was another guy. He would sit in the woods and he would actually talk to him. He'd say, "Yeah, you're my friend. You're here. Oh yeah, you're right. You know, something like that. You know, you can hear
Was
it.
one
But
of these people named Tim? I
I
remember.
I
I
don't.
remember a video where it sounded like the supposed Sasquatch from the woods say Tim.
Well, the guy would go out. I mean, you know, it kind of sounded like it was in a studio because
What?
the Squatches were. Say what, Nikki?
Oops. No, I was just saying where he'd say Mike, flower, you know, all those.
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but those. The question is, are those real or are those just someone trying to make a name for themselves? You know, that's something else you got to think about. You know, it could be real, it could be hoax. You know, because I don't know anybody. I know of one guy who was down on the Gulf Coast in a cabin, and he was doing recordings of Bigfoot, but he accidentally left his auto recorder on the car or on his porch, and he picked up a Squatch talking, and he said when he listened to it, he said it was old Spanish, and it was a son talking to his, it was a father talking to his son saying, "Son, this is a story from the heart." That was like 4 years ago that I remember hearing that. The guy was a Spanish school teacher, and he heard it. He picked it up on his recorder that night because he actually forgot and left it out there. You know. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see what Max has to say. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do it this way.
Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anybody's lying or not lying because
Oh,
if you weren't
oh,
there, you don't know.
Well, the reason I say it's a hoax is because if you watch him in some of his tent videos, you can see the steam coming from his mouth when the noises are made, and some of the audio is so close to him that it's either him or somebody else making the sounds. Granted, he may have caught some things that were real, but that audio is fishy. And then he don't let you comment on his YouTube videos. He wasn't trying to. I don't know. It didn't sit well. And the amount of activity that he had, like every single time he goes out, it was like, there's a handprint, there's a footprint. Oh, hey, I can talk to him. Oh, hi, here you are, you know. And then they had like a marble fall out of the sky. What makes him so special that that can happen there? You know what I'm saying? Like the odds are stacked against him.
Well, I
How
can see that.
we
I
do
can see that.
Do you want to
But
hear it? I found it on YouTube.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna mute my mic here.
yeah, I just got a message from Maximus Deaconus, Nikki. First time in over a year that boy's got in touch with me.
That one isn't a good one. Hold on, let me. There's so many on here. I don't know which one to pick.
Just
I
get
didn't
to.
hear. I didn't hear
Okay.
anything.
Okay,
But
hold on. Do you have to push on the YouTube? Do you guys, or can you hear it?
Go to your Facebook and go to your Facebook or just punch another link.
Let me see. Hold on.
Keep keep Google Hangout. Just punch that box to get another link up there and go to YouTube. Pick the video and then punch
Well,
on the video.
I'm using the system here on the Hangouts. That's probably why.
Oh, well, if you go to your YouTube, stay on the Hangout, but just punch another box. Go to another link, and just push YouTube. Find the video.
Yeah.
Then when you punch it up, just turn the volume up on it, and we all can hear it.
Okay.
Because it'll come through onto the Hangout. Can't hear nothing. When you get it, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Nikki.
Hey, Fred.
Okay. It didn't work
Fred,
because. Go ahead.
Do what, Nikki?
Oh, I was gonna say I'm on the YouTube app. It's working for me on here.
Oh, that's what it is. Is everybody has to be on that YouTube app for you to hear what I was playing.
Yeah, it's good. Everybody,
I can do it the other way too. It doesn't matter.
Well, we could all hear it on here. I think it'd be easy for everyone just to do it here. That way we could hear a lot clearer, and we could talk while it's playing too.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, everyone hit the YouTube app to the left of the screen.
Wait a minute.
And you'll see Nikki what Nikki has brought up.
I hear it.
Yeah, you click click OK. Then
okay. Go ahead, Nikki.
That one's the fake one. That's somebody faking that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like you could alter your voice to do stuff like that. That sounds like
that's the fake one. Hold on.
I can't hear anything because my account says choose how you Fred Kane Skinner agrees. Okay, I'll go to that. Okay, here we go. Allow.
I definitely didn't hear nothing.
Wait a minute, this damn thing's being a bitch tonight.
Yeah, well, if you're on the YouTube app through here, you got to push play to hear it, though.
No, I mean, okay, it says YouTube needs your permission to order to start.
Yep, and hit OK or allow.
All right, I already did.
Then it'll bring you into it.
I'm trying to get one that's not fake. There's a bunch out there that are fake now.
Well, I got the I got what it says Squatch Ontario Auto Discovery, and it's a blank screen.
Yeah, that's it's rolling right now on mine too. But
oh, it's buffering right now.
Yeah.
Now go back to the beginning again.
Hey, we can pull up videos from Fred.
Okay, that one's not working for whatever reason. Let's see if this one works. Oh, God, I hate him. No, not him. Oh, my God, I can't stand him. Okay, here comes Fred.
Who?
I don't...
I don't know. Who put that up? Did I put that up?
Oh.
I don't know why it's not rolling.
Yeah, I don't. I just got black and buffering.
Yeah.
Fred, are you seeing it?
I see Fred's clip.
No, it's still buffering. Oh, okay.
This is on the hill, Fred. Your video.
I can't even see it. The video's blank.
Really? Oh.
I'm watching it.
I don't
I
see
can
nothing.
see it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I can see
Yeah,
it
this
now.
is Fred's video. Okay, there you go. Okay, yeah, that's the video.
Now, did you go
And if you
approach
want to
that?
talk while it's playing, you could just hit
Yeah,
the green talk button.
okay. Yeah, Candy Canada cleared it up, stabilized it for me about a month after I had it put on there.
I gotta
This
say, I think that new one you just showed me is better than this one.
Well, this one right here is he's got his back to me, and he's not moving. Everybody kept saying, "Why don't you approach him? You don't approach a Squatch, man." So he sat there and never moved a muscle the whole time I was standing there.
You did go check and make sure it's not a stump, though, correct?
Yes, that is exactly it. I come back the next day.
Yeah, he has a after video of the same location. You would have to watch the original footage that he did on this,
Yeah, I
and
got
also
two.
watch the after, and it shows his exact trees, the same exact limbs, positioned the same way, and that subject was not there in the after video. This is one of my favorite videos that Fred does have. This one here, because I like how we did the before and after. 'Cause like I said, you can see if you pay attention to the first video and pay attention to the second video, it shows like I said, the limbs, same trees, same scenario.
It almost looks like it's kneeling down or bending or something.
It's sitting on a log.
Like its back is to you, but I can't see its head because that leaf.
No, there's a tree. There's that maple tree right there is going up from his left side, going up to his spinal cord, right up in the middle of his head. He's sitting on a log right there. He's sitting on a log with his back to me, and that maple tree, that tree on his back is a maple.
And as far as I'm concerned, it looks like fur. It definitely looks like fur, like thick, heavy fur going down on the shoulders.
What is the black part above that limb coming in from the left?
To the left, that's probably lighting behind the way the light reflects off the other leaves and stuff. In the background.
Okay. Now here's the still shots. Are you talking about right there where the words are on his shoulder?
I'm talking about the dark part that looks like shoulders and head above.
Hold on. Now Sasquatch is
Sorry. I don't know. I guess I was holding it for so long it just automatically went when that one ended.
Yeah.
Orbs.
I noticed that in the picture.
The things that Leo was seeing that night.
But that could have been snow.
Oh, there's the audio.
If you can find the one with the tent, you can see his breath when he says it.
That's some damn hellacious noise, though.
Some people can do things with their voice boxes others can't.
Now, if you look right there, that was a squash behind that brush pile.
I can't make anything out in them.
Yeah, some of these pictures are. Yeah, I can't. I don't know
Okay,
what he's supposed to.
okay. Look right there on the left side of that tree. That dark spot. That was one right there.
And then they would say marbles would just show up everywhere.
That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Now that yelling right there,
That's yelling right there.
I have that recorded. That I believe is real. The other stuff, I can't say.
Well, I've heard everything in my areas and in Daniel's area when I was up there by myself a couple times, so I know that is it. That right there is what gets me right there, that handprint.
That language is... That's a human. I don't care what anybody says.
Excuse me.
It's almost like they're sucking in air as they talk.
Right.
Hey. Anybody could, you know what I mean?
At one point, it almost sounds like it's a, hey, Mike.
Right.
I don't know, but it's damn scary to me.
I mean, it is kind of mysterious, but some of it almost looked like you could hear what, like, they were slipping up and saying stuff. I don't know, but the tracks and everything look impressive. But
Well, Booch went and duplicated it perfect. It is.
I'd like to analyze a lot more videos like this.
yeah.
We used to do this all the time on Looking for Bigfoot Hour. But it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done it.
Yeah. But see, like that language, like Ryan said, that sounds human. I don't care what anybody says. Actually, if you sit down and you listen to them, if you listen to a human, it's got a certain wavelength that we understand. Squatches can try to imitate that. And if you listen close enough, you can hear an offset in the way they speak.
Yeah, but neither one of us can measure that.
Measure with what?
Instruments. I mean, you could...
Why do you need instruments? Why can't you use good old gut instinct?
Because my gut says that that's human, except for that yelling that I heard.
Okay, I grant you that, but how do you know the yelling didn't come right after he spoke?
Even if it did, he may have... You can't tell, that's what I'm saying. But that other... Hey, that sounds human.
I've heard that so many times, it's like second nature, to me.
You've heard them talk, Fred?
Huh?
You've heard them talk?
I've heard bits and pieces, yeah.
Like that? You never said that.
No one ever asked me.
I never heard them talk like that. I've heard...
I've heard them speak English, but it was just like broken English,
Hey,
But
tell me.
But it still was English,
I play this one here. I played this one before for people. Tell me if you guys can make this one up. Hold on, let me fast forward.
Now, I got me and you got that night. Right after we heard that baby, we was walking out. Said, "Let me try this," and I went, whoop, and got that one coming right back at me.
That yell right there is I was right across from that same area where me and you were, but this is when I was camping. Apparently,
Oh, okay.
that came around. It was around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, from the
Oh,
timestamp
okay.
on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Because it was just starting to get dark when I yelled, and it yelled right back like 5 seconds later. You know,
Yeah.
that blew my cookies.
See, hold on.
Yeah, road crossing. That's where they had that
Yeah.
black cat.
Yeah. That was the. I did an audio recording of those tracks. I can't. When I was coming back in from the
Oh yeah,
store,
yeah,
and
yeah. The one
yeah,
going across the road. Yeah.
I have a witness interview recorded on here.
I shared a howl with Daniel that one of my linguists came back and stated that it was very, very interesting and squatchy. And it was definitely different. And he actually cleaned it up for me and found that there was a wood knock at the 5-second mark. And what happens is I've been finding out. Remember, I asked you about the airplanes way, way, way back.
Yeah, because my auto recorder, when you listen to it, it sounds like if I leave it out all night, it sounds like a bomb. It's like boom. You hear planes constantly going over.
Well, I found out that in this particular audio, they were going hoo while the plane was flying over.
Yeah,
So
they were singing.
he had to drown the plane out for you to hear it, and then he came back and said that was very amazing, actually.
Yeah, because if they know humans are in the woods, they'll use different sound, like you hear an airplane. They'll use that to make their sound, and that way they figure, well, hell, he can't hear us or something like that, you know.
I heard singing Saturday night, way off in the distance. It sounded like a car radio with music playing.
Well, that's paranormal.
That was cutting out.
Yeah, that's paranormal right there.
And it was, but it
sure
sounded
wasn't
kind
that show?
What?
He muted himself again.
No, I was playing something.
I said. No, I was saying, are you sure it wasn't the tent up on the hill from you guys that night?
There was no.
Uh-oh.
If it would have been,
Dan,
I just got a link sent to me.
If it would have been your tent, we would have heard laughing.
It sounded like it was. It sounded like it was up the creek behind a tent, but up the creek behind that back corner of the tent and that back in that area, and I heard it off and on all night, and it sounded like a distant car radio playing, but like it maybe back in the day when you didn't get good antenna signal and the music would cut out and come back. But it was different than the chattering. The chattering sounded like people talking and you just couldn't quite hear them. The music was definitely music, but you couldn't quite hear it. But I could tell the difference.
I wonder if we got a rock band back here. Listen to the radio.
Maybe.
No, because Jeffrey was across the road in his Jeep, and he says he didn't hear anything. Of course, he has trouble sleeping anyway, so he probably listened to the radio or the CB or something. Daniel was being laughed at in his tent.
Yeah.
And
I don't think so.
And I was snoring, so you know.
Oh Lord.
But you know, in different areas, you know, people say they hear singing, they hear chattering, you know, like that Navy guy who slowed the Sierra sounds down. He had to slow it down to 95% to understand what they were saying. And I can't remember which audio he used for that. Do you remember, Nikki?
For which one?
When that naval guy, retired naval guy, did help his son do a project, and he used the Sierra sounds from '76 to record and slowed it down to hear what they would say.
Yeah.
What they were saying.
Sierra sounds. Samurai chatter.
Yeah, the samurai chatter might be well
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people say they hear sound like samurai chatter, like or some shit like that. Listen to the radio. Here I sit, all broken hearted, try to and only farted. Hey, Nikki.
Yeah.
I just got a message from Maximus. He wanted me to send him the FLIR pictures from that night me and Daniel's camping. And I told him, I says, the only pics I got was Daniel and me. The box didn't last an hour after I set it up.
Yeah, I wonder why that was doing that. That was weird. Cause, yeah, we had activity that one night we were there.
Yeah.
We got whooped at, but really close to our camp, about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Well, 4 or 5 times in a row. That was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that was back in. Yeah, that was back in 2013.
I heard a whoop early Saturday morning, and I heard 2, if not 3, tree knocks early Saturday morning in the wee hours.
Let's see.
I wish I could play this audio for you guys.
Let's see. Trying to do something here.
Try and figure it out, Ryan.
Hey, I'm gonna just make an announcement for the viewers watching. If you look under the chat right now, well, give me a second. I'm gonna post a link for the viewers if you want to save that link. It's for Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's for Night Callers Radio. Definitely check it out.
How come they're asking you to go in there so many damn times? Well, that's okay. That's okay. I've had that's okay. The last podcast I was on, I asked the guy, I said, how many are listening? He said, you're being heard all over the world. Really?
Yeah.
Blew my cookies.
Yeah, that's how they broadcast. It's pretty cool, though, ain't it?
Yeah, man. And believe it or not, for the next week, I got friends. I was having friend requests from all over the world, man. That blew my cookies.
Wow.
Let's see.
Cool.
Okay, well, it's time for me to go.
Uh-huh.
I gotta go put some kids in the bathtub.
Well, they should be big enough now, shouldn't they?
Well, I gotta make the 9-year-old go take a shower or she'll never do it.
Oh, huh. Okay.
That's the way it is.
Well, you tell her I said jump in that shower.
Yeah, mine needs a bath tonight, too. I told him earlier. I need to tell him again.
She's been
Good talking to you, Nikki.
Yep, I'll talk to you guys later.
See you later, hon.
Bye.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming on.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off here and go out here and take my carburetor off and work on it. I gotta rework the whole float system on it. It takes 15 minutes to get it started because it ain't getting fuel coming from the
I thought you got the carburetor fixed.
Well, I did too, but when I was going down the road, you punch it, it would start blip 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 blip, it starts starving. So that tells me that the floats ain't opening up big enough. So I'm gonna have to take the top off, take the floats out, change everything, reset the floats, set them in there, and readjust them. I might need a bigger port for it. I don't know.
Well, good luck to you, Fred.
Oh, it
Let's
ain't
see
nothing.
what.
It's like second nature to work on something like that.
Well,
You're
I
right.
know that.
Yeah, well, y'all be good. I'll holler at you later.
All right.
Alrighty then.
Night, night.
Friday night we have the Cryptid Crew on here, the Carolina Cryptid Crew. So we're gonna have 2 individuals from the Carolina Cryptid Crew. So
All
yeah,
right.
yeah, I'll keep everybody informed on who we got coming up. So
Okie dokie.
all right, everyone have a good night, and we're going off air.